Good evening. So tonight we're interviewing brave fighter Lambo, former IMMAF gold medalist from 2015 in the bantamweight division, product of SBG originally and now part of the KHK team out in Bahrain. Just wait for him to hop on. Should be a good chat. I've got a lot of respect for the IMMAF, so I'm looking forward to chatting to him about that as well. Obviously a guy that had a stellar amateur career and now switched to the pro ranks. Just waiting for him to pop on, then if he throws a comment into the comment section I shall invite him into the Twizzy chat. Jesus Christ, that's hot. Don't forget, as always, you can download the MMA UK app. The link for that is in the bio. And if you have any comments or questions for myself or Franz, then drop a comment in. And as long as I see it, I shall ask it or read it out for myself or Franz to read. Not in my bar tonight, unfortunately. It's currently being decorated for Halloween by the wife and her siblings, so thought it might be a bit scary for some viewers if I was in there at the same time. Peter Knox has invited Franz to the chat, so hopefully he'll be along soon. It's my second interview. Hi, do you want a beer? Yes. Thanks, sister-in-law. Better be quiet though, Sean. Live TV now. It's good save that. Sat here, not in my bar, I'm getting offered beer. Wonderful. Not sure that compliments my cup of tea. Just waiting for Franz to appear. Ah, there we go. Franz. Oh no, don't invite Sean. Franz. In theory, Franz should be getting an invite. Cheers, mate. Thanks. So my invite's just gone out. Oh, there we go.
Here we go. What's going on?
How's it going, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. Haven't done this before. I didn't know what was going on.
A lot of people find it a bit weird when they come on. It is a bit of a... You never quite know what you're going to expect when the other person comes on as well. I've had a few...
Yeah.
I think we had I can't remember what song come on with like a clown mask on, and we've had people do it from like very odd places. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm wearing a hat at the moment because my hairline game is weak. You know what I mean?
I just do that and I'm happy. So don't get me started.
Well, for some.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to pronounce your last name wrong. I've been trying to say it for Franz Mlambo.
Yeah, it's actually Franz Mlambo. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Originally an SBG product, and now fighting in KHK team in Bahrain. Is that correct?
Fighting on Brave FC in Bahrain. It was started by the KHK crew, but it's called the promotion's called Brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the second fighter I've actually interviewed from Brave.
Nice.
My last interview was with Charlie Leary.
Oh, right, yeah.
Met Charlie.
Cool.
Another British guy fighting over there, and he was alluding to how much he enjoys fighting over there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
For someone who's still relatively early in their professional MMA career, what does it mean to sign to a promotion that's still in its new kind of roots, but is obviously making headway into becoming quite a big promotion?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was with them even before the Brave thing happened. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, they had this KHK team, and I got on there, just like a little while after they started the whole thing. So I've been kind of weak with like the people that started Brave since before Brave. But it is pretty cool, like being at the start of something that's getting so big. You know what I mean? So I think I was at the first one as well. I was at Brave One, so I was there since it kind of started. Pretty cool.
I mean, I like the fact it's been run by it's run by a sheikh in Bahrain,
Yeah.
who does seem to be extremely passionate about MMA. And I was reading a quick bio on the Brave website, and it comes across to me like he's just trying to do this to get MMA not just in Bahrain, but he's trying to improve it around the world as well. Does that come across when you're out there that that's his mission statement kind of thing?
Yeah, that was basically his premise from the start, like, because he was just a fan of MMA, and then one day he just decided, "Oh, I'm gonna, you know what I mean, I'm gonna be part of this. I want to start something up," and then they decided to get the team. So what they wanted to do with the KHK team was to just pick a few fighters from around the world, like help them. Like when I was on that team, I was on a salary, like, you know what I mean, and then there was bonuses and stuff like that every time you fight, win or lose. You know what I mean? So, and while you're training, you obviously again you're on the salary. So he wanted to build up a few fighters and them just represent KHK all over the world. You know what I mean? Just have like an elite group of fighters, um, just with your name behind them and supporting them. I don't know why, but it was a great idea, and anyway, it worked out good for me for a good year. You know what I mean? But then after a while, obviously things changed, and then I don't know why they decided to start the promotion, but they started it like big style. You know what I mean? And it's already gone miles. Like the KHK thing was only like I think it's not nowhere over 2 years. This whole thing, like the first thing uh, that came into his head, even about the KHK, like it lasted a year, and then the Brave thing started. But it's all happened so quick because he just has resources to make these things happen. Like for such a new promotion, like Brave it's pretty big. You know what I mean? And it's been all over the place, and it's obviously it's planned to expand. Like so, expecting good things in the future for Brave.
I mean, yeah, this will be your third fight on Brave.
It'll
Yeah,
be
you
my
fought
third fight, Brave. Yeah,
Brave one in where was that? That was
that
before.
was
Yeah,
in
Brave one,
yeah, that was in
Brave
Bahrain.
four.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brave one, Brave four. Now Brave nine. You're fighting on.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, and just looking through, I've got your fight card in front of me,
cool.
but like just looking through that, you've never actually fought anyone with like an even record to you. I'd say you've always fought people with a bit more professional experience than yourself.
Mm.
Um, like in your first fight in Brave, you fought a guy who was 7-2 when you were only 2-1 as a
In my first
professional.
pro, you said?
No, in your first fight on Brave, sorry.
All right, sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah,
And then in this fight, you're fighting Michael Diego Sheck, who's 5-2, so not massively more experienced. He's only had a couple more fights than you.
yeah.
I mean, first off the bat, what is your thought on your newest opponent?
I honestly don't know like much about him. I don't like. I never researched my fighters. The only thing I know about this guy is I seen him at the last Brave I was on. He was on the same card, but he was fighting lightweight on that card, and I just seen him around and about. That's literally all. I didn't watch his fight or nothing, so I don't really know much about him, to be honest.
And in that last fight, he was a loss via TKO punches in round one.
Yeah, but like, as well, you have to think about it. This dude is he's a bantamweight fighter. You know what I mean? And he got a short notice call, and he fought a lightweight. You know what I mean? So like, fair play to him from the start, even taking that fight. But yeah, you know what I mean. You're fighting a bigger guy than you're usually used to. Probably, I didn't watch the fight, so I can't really comment too much on it. But you can't look at something like that and then, you know what I mean, mark the guy as weak for that. You know what I mean? Things happen.
Another thing I read about you in terms of him getting TKO as well, John Kavanagh from SBG saying that he was praising your boxing skills quite a lot.
Yeah.
when you do hear opponent has been TKO'd, KO'd, that's surely got to give you that little tingle of confidence in the back of your mind that I've got good hands. He's been stopped by punches before.
Yeah.
That's got to give you a little bit of a segue
No,
into.
it definitely does, because I didn't know you got TKO'd. So when the second you said that to me, I was like, yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, because I know I can kick, I can hit hard. Like where if I hit you and I land on you, you know what I mean. I can usually see the emotions change. You know what I mean. So yeah, but yeah, at the same time, you never go out looking for it. You always hope for it, but you don't go looking for it when you're in there. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see what happens.
I mean, that's got to be a good thing as well. John Kavanagh, like boosting your stand-up skills, like rating your stand-up skills. He's saying that you are a very sound, not just a hard punch, but you're saying as well how technical you are, and you're a safe sparrer as well, which is always a good thing to hear. Like someone who's not going to go out and take it like technical.
Yeah, I've been sparring a lot, like with a lot of guys, especially for this here. Yeah, people always seem to want to ask me for spars and stuff like that, because I think I know how to work with different types of people. You know what I mean? And different type of skill sets. Like I can spar somebody that's like pro ages, proper hard, intelligent fighters and stuff, and I can spar starter offs and whatnot. You know what I mean? I know how to kind of, I don't know. I'm a real good sparring partner. Like I know how to work off you, if you know what I mean. I know, like if somebody's fighting somebody, they tell me what they kind of need. Like I can go southpaw or orthodox, stuff like that. So that's kind of a positive. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's why I think people like spar me, because I know how to like work with people in that way. But then as well, like I started off as a boxer, you know what I mean, and they taught me the basics, and that's basically what I'm still running off. You know what I mean? I was actually just talking to another guy about this, and he was like, "Yeah, do you still do boxing?" Like, because I left boxing 5 years ago. I did boxing for 5 years, haven't done it since I started MMA, and I'm improving bits, you know what I mean, and whatnot. And so people are asking now, do you actually still do boxing? And I'm like, no, like what I got taught was the basics, and I'm still running off them basics, and I think it's worked pretty good for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've got three. I'll just hop on to some questions. We've got 3 questions.
Cool.
We'll go to Lucas Pereira Carano, who I believe is one of the brave fighter relations out there.
Yeah.
Franz, you're quite used to being the bigger man inside the cage. Do you plan to use your height and reach advantage once again, or can we expect some new tricks?
Yeah, well, like, you know what I mean? I know I have the length, like, I have the length and I use that, but it's worked kind of against me sometimes, especially with the shorter guys trying to take you down, you know what I'm saying? That's obviously the first thing they see when you're in there, so it is a plus in the way that, like, I can jab you from afar, but then at the same time, like, you try to commit to something, like, every now and then, and people are always going to try to take me down, and that's something I'm wary of, but yeah, I'm never really the bigger guy. I'm usually the kind of taller guy. Wouldn't say bigger guy, but I'm always a tiny bit taller.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", and I'm bantam.
Okay, so yeah, you are quite tall for bantamweight.
Yeah, for bantam I'm tall, but not in.
Yeah, that's very tall.
Not in general.
Yeah. Also, James Anthony. Hello, James. He comments on most fan videos, so welcome him tonight. Who's your favourite fighter?
Who's my favourite fighter? I have a few.
So
I like the kind of flowy style. You'll kind of understand what I mean. But my favourite's like what's it called? Anderson Silva.
Okay.
I will say Anderson Silva is my favourite. I like the way Michael Page fights as well, like the John Jones type of fighters. They're the type of fighters that I like, because that's kind of what type of fighter I am. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm not as tricky and stuff as all them guys are, but I just like that type of style of fighting that they bring.
Do you think that sort of style sorry, I'm just plugging the charger in. Do you think that sort of style that they have, that kind of tricky style that you're saying, is something you might get as you progress in your career, or?
Yeah, because Yeah, because I
Like, it's
find
like
like
better to emulate.
yeah, because I find at the start, like at the start of my career, I was like I came from boxing, but I did kick a lot and I punched a lot and stuff. But then I feel like I haven't been using my kicks as good as I used to, and you know what I mean. I like doing these type of things. I like doing fancy things in there. I'm just always so wary of takedowns that I think in a few fights I've kind of just left it. But that's definitely a part of my game that I want to start bringing in, like because you're professional now. You want people to start looking at you, and I can do these type of things. You know what I mean? I just need to, get the cojones to just go ahead and do what I need to do. You know what I mean? Because I can do some nice stuff, so I need to start showing it. So that's a definite. You'll be seeing some fancy stuff in there.
Good. Fancy stuff's always fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, so we're saying Anderson Silva's your favourite fighter.
Definitely.
Good person.
Definitely. And then in the boxing world, actually,
Oh,
Roy Jones.
I think a lot of people. I'd probably agree with that. I did like
Yeah.
old school. Roy Jones was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
That guy had nasty power and a really.
Yeah.
I agree with you with what you're saying on like the flowy style of things. Like he had that very casual, relaxed
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
kind of style, but then could just switch on, and if he cracked you clean, then you knew. Well, you didn't know you're probably unconscious, but yeah, he had a very good style.
Yeah, that's what I like. I look and I like them, like like doubling up on the single shots and stuff like that, and just peppering them. And yeah, I've used a few of his things from time to time, and I just like the way he fights. Yeah, so that's the type of stuff I'm into.
I mean, if we're looking at guys like them now, what's your thought on guys like Roy Jones and Anderson Silva fighting sort of later into their careers? Obviously, they're two guys that have fought a bit later on, and it hasn't
Yeah.
necessarily panned out so well for them. What's your thoughts on those guys? Do you think legends like that should possibly look towards retiring a bit earlier, or do
Yeah,
you think it's more like an ego-driven thing? Or
well, you have to understand, like, if you were as good as like Anderson Silva and Roy Jones, and they've went on some undefeated streaks, like they've been so good for so long that you know what I mean. If you're sitting at home and you're watching fights, you're like, here, I used to be like animal. Like imagine Anderson Silva looking back at his like footage or whatever, and then saying, here, I can definitely do this again. Looking at who's in his weight class and saying, like, I can definitely take these boys. Obviously, the mind is saying yes, but the body is not always going to agree. You know what I mean? I think that's what kind of seems to happen to these guys. But I can understand it, like, but it is sad, like, being a fan of these type of guys and then them getting losses that in their prime, it wouldn't have worked out like that. But you know what I mean? You have to work with what time deals with you, like, because your body's not always gonna function as it always did. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, no, definitely when you start getting to that age.
Yeah.
What was the question I was going to say then? Subject of Anderson Silva. He's fighting Kelvin Gastelum next. Young versus old. How quickly? How do you see that one going?
That's a tough one as
Kelvin
well.
Gastelum's a dangerous man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kevin is dangerous, like, and I don't know. I don't like that for Anderson Silva, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's seen the last few of his fights. You get what I'm saying? I don't want him to, like, because he was so good, like, so he was just so good that you never want to see him like take a terrible fall. You know what I mean? Take a terrible loss or something. But like, that's what I'm saying. Kevin Gastelum is a dangerous fighter, but you never know. Like, Anderson could be back to his good form, so you can never count anyone out, especially somebody that great. Like, you know what I mean?
That's definitely a hard fight for Anderson.
Yeah.
It'll either bring out the best or the worst in him, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Another question, or two questions. One was from Joe Barton, which was what inspired you to get into MMA?
Yeah.
Then further, Peter Knox asked, what are your long-term goals? So if you combine that into like what got you into it, and then where do you see yourself going in MMA?
Yeah. All right. Well, like, we used to, when I was doing boxing, there was, you know what I mean, there's a lot of politics like in amateur boxing in Ireland. I don't know about the rest of the world. It seems kind of like it is all over the world with
Yeah.
amateur boxing. Like there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of just stuff I didn't like. Like I just didn't like the the way the whole scene was turning. Like there was loads of robberies. Like not just to me, just in general. It just if you know certain people, you tend to be treated a bit better. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I just kind of. I got turned off amateur boxing, and then I used to obviously watch the UFC and stuff like that. And one of my friends was at SBG. He was training there for a while, like he done judo and stuff like that. So he was doing MMA at the time, and then I didn't train for like 8 months or something, and then he was like, "Why don't you just stall and do this?" And like, and I did enjoy watching MMA and stuff like, and I was primarily more of a martial artist kind of guy than a boxer. Like I just kind of I did boxing and I was kind of all right at it, so I just stuck with it. And but the more I was looking at MMA, watching the fights and stuff, I thought it would be something I'd be more comfortable with. And then my friend took me down to SVG, and then I was just kind of hooked on that. You know what I mean? It was just I love the whole martial art kind of thing instead of just boxing. Just boxing in general, you know.
It's an addictive sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Considering it hurts, it's very addictive.
Yeah. It reels you in, like, but then it gets hard. It reels you in because I was like, especially with like the ground, you know, people take me down. I've always been all right of like not getting taken down in training and stuff, and then getting back up and stuff like that. I always had like a bit of athleticism to get up and whatnot, and so I was like, oh, it's grand. And then you start learning the little techniques and stuff, the little nuances of it, and it's something else, like, and it's something I'm working on. But yeah, I loved MMA, still do, obviously. And plan for the future, like I was saying at the start about the greats, your body isn't always gonna last out, so I'm gonna plan on doing as much as possible as soon as I can, like, and even saying that, like the last time I fought was 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Because of the way things went with Brave and stuff like that. They have shows somewhere else and other stuff. So I haven't been getting fights as much as I'd like to, like. But from now on, and anyways, I'm hoping to just be real active and get as far as I can, get as far as I'm able to get with what I have, and then you know, be able to pay the bills and whatnot, and then get up out of there. But obviously not gonna do that in the next. I'm giving it like, I'm 26 now, which is kind of late starting in the game for. So I feel for myself, I wish I would have started earlier. But I'm 26 now, only have 5 fights. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a few more and then bounce. Maybe, I don't know. Who can tell?
Playing it by ear.
Yeah.
Seeing how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. No.
It's the best way I mean, the sport like this is not the kind of thing. It's not easy to future plan a sport where you could get hurt or one big fight could push you into the next big parts of the sport. So
exactly.
I think it's good. I think it's good to have just a calm head and just play it by ear kind of thing.
Yeah, you kind of have to just see what happens, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for example, like I'm planning on I have 2 fights left on my contract now, including this one, and then so I want to get this fight, and then the next one be a title fight. You know what I mean? So imagine, say if something I lose right now, or some shit, then you know what I mean. What are you gonna do if you have like certain plans? You know what I mean? You just have to see. You have to work with what you get, really. You know what I mean? That's, you can't really just map out your career, especially in a sport like this. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, I completely agree. That is, I know a few people have had their career mapped out, and then you get a loss or you get an injury, and I mean, like, yeah, it's you can't see stuff coming. I know I used to compete years ago, and I hurt my knee, and then that stopped.
Stuff like that, injuries and whatnot. You know what I mean?
A few more things come through. Lucas was saying Roy Jones Jr. was also Anderson Silva's favourite fighter. Actually, quick prediction on that one as well. There was always rumours that Anderson Silva was going to switch over to boxing to
Yeah,
fight Roy
that was what
Jones.
happened.
If that had happened and they were both in their prime, who would you have given a pure boxing match to?
Boxing. Just boxing.
Pure boxing. Just boxing.
Jones.
I agree.
Definitely.
Full on. You'd have...
Definitely. Boxing.
Yeah.
Definitely Jones. But see, if we could bring in elbows, see, that's a different thing. You can't bring a boxer into MMA. Like, bringing an MMA fighter into boxing, you can argue this and that and whatnot. But yeah, there is no chance you're going to bring a boxer into MMA and then expect the boxer to win. It doesn't even make sense. Like.
I mean, look what happened when James Toney came to MMA
and James Toney was no joke, like, you know what I mean?
No, he was a legit boxer, but he got literally spanked by Randy Couture.
Yeah. That's all you need to do is like a takedown. Like, you know what I mean? No argument.
So then a couple more questions came in. Obviously, being from SBG, we're never going to avoid Conor McGregor questions. How did you feel sparring Conor for the Mayweather fight? Because you were part of his training camp for that, I believe.
I was, yeah.
How does that feel, sparring with a guy like Conor for what is arguably the biggest fight in combat sport history? To be part of that, even in like a backroom kind of way, how as a young athlete, how does that feel that you were asked to be part of that training camp?
It was good, like, but the thing is, like, I don't want to like sound cocky or nothing like that, like, but since I started MMA, like, coming from a boxing background, I started literally like sparring with Conor and a few other guys there that were already pro and whatnot from the start, like, you know what I mean? So I've been boxing, sparring these guys since I started MMA, you know what I mean? Obviously for this fight, it was a bigger scale of things, and that was awesome to be part of that. Like, but that's sparring kind of, I've been doing that for years now. Do you get what I mean? It's obviously daily seeing the improvements he's making, like the way he reads you and stuff like that. But that's, I can say all these things, and that's all pretty cool to see what he's achieved. But sparring wise, like, I've just been doing it for so long. You know what I mean? It's not something I've just like, I'm doing like a few months. I've been doing it for a few years, and it is sparring. Like, so we've done like hundreds of rounds. So I could say, oh well, it was different because it's boxing, and obviously it was just boxing. But usually me and him, even when we're doing, because I've done a few camps with him for MMA, obviously, and then we usually just do boxing sparring. Even if it is MMA, it's mostly just boxing when me and him were sparring. So the whole atmosphere around that thing, and then the whole scale of that fight, that was different. But the sparring part of it wasn't too much different, except for that, you know what I mean? It was just boxing. No kickings. You wouldn't throw a leg kick or nothing, but that's basically the only difference. You know what I mean? But the facilities we were in, you know, it's just, we're doing exactly what we're doing in a different place and kind of a different atmosphere. But everything else was all good, you know.
I've got to ask, well, were you there for the Malignaggi sparring?
I was, yeah.
Was it a knockdown?
No, see, look, that knockdown, right, wasn't even half like as bad as what actually occurred. Like, you know what I mean? We like the whole sparring session was super intense. Like, Malignaggi was I don't know what, because I got there like a week after they already sparred once, or so, a week or two, I don't know. But when I got there and when I seen Paulie for the first time, he had already sparred. You get what I'm saying? But in this one here, I don't know what happened in that one. But in this one, like, there's a lot of tension, like, you know what I mean? Paulie felt disrespected by a few things and whatnot, so there was just like, it felt like a fight, you know what I mean? And there was a bit of a crowd there, but like, Paulie got like smashed up, like, serious, you know what I mean? For a sparring session, like, it was bad. Like, there was there's 4 sparring partners in altogether, and out of all of us, like, he got it the worst, definitely, like, by a good bit.
Like, Conor went for it the worst, or he just...
No, he just got it. He just got it bad. He was just there to get hit. Obviously, Conor's going to try and hit you every time. but nobody else got it as bad. You know what I mean? It's not like Conor meant to get him bad. You know what I mean? That's just how the sparring session went. Like, he got some shots in there. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was just one of those things especially from a media point of view, like everything was just 10 things of one side, 9 things that you couldn't, it was hard to get a read on what was actually the actual story from it. So it's quite interesting to hear someone who's actually an actual hands-on kind of thing.
Yeah, no, but as well, like, Polly, like, see, I wasn't all wise to this, but I was around a few guys that are in the boxing scene and they know things behind it, but and they were like, and I was thinking, like, how would Polly say it's a knockdown? Because obviously once this fight is over, they're gonna release it and everybody's gonna see it's a knockdown. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, why is he thinking? And they were like, you have to understand, like, he's always in the media, so a picture like that or whatever comes out, a little clip, he kind of has to explain himself because he's the boxer. He was like, I'd smoke Conor and stuff like that. So it would be an embarrassment to him. So he had to kind of know what to say and what not to get out of certain situations. But that's what I think he was doing with that boy. It didn't make any sense for him to be saying, like, oh no, I smashed him and all, because it was bad. Like, but you know, he's a good egg.
Well, how do you feel Conor did in the fight? Did you think it would go the way it did, or were you surprised in any of the fight? Or
yeah, I was super surprised. I thought Conor was just gonna, like, annihilate. You know what I mean? But the thing is, what you have to understand is, right, I've been sparring him for so long, and I see the way he, like, adapts to situations. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I watched a few of Mayweather's last few fights, like, you know, Money Mayweather, not Pretty Boy, and because that's who obviously he was now, and he was just real stationary, and from what I seen that Mayweather does, and then watching Conor sparring, not just me but the other guys as well, I was like, they're like, I predicted a 6-round knockout for Conor. Do you get what I'm saying? And then watching the fight, seeing the way seeing the way, like, it went, you can kind of tell what Mayweather was doing, I think, as the fight went on, because he wasn't really doing much, just waiting, just letting Conor, like, pepper on him and stuff, getting a few shots in. But the guy I was sitting beside some other guy who's annoying me, but he was like, he's just trying to get him tired. And I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, he's getting the shots in, because, you know what I mean? Every time Conor went for something, I was just hoping he'd hit him clean. To get what I'm saying? But it didn't work out that way, and it obviously just showed, like, Mayweather is, like, something else. You know what I mean? To have that plan to do that and make it work so good, like, it's pretty serious, like, but it was stressful watching that fight. You know what I mean? I literally could have bet anything that Conor was going to win in that fight.
I had a similar view to you. I think I put money on Conor in the 4th. I think in my head it was either Conor in the 4th, or Mayweather by decision. That was the 2 ways I was.
Yeah, because that's what everybody said. And then if it went the whole way, then it'd be Mayweather, because he knows how to play that game. But that made sense. But I genuinely did not think it was going to go that far.
I thought, for all the past of Conor, that he would. Yeah. I thought he'd clip, but
yeah.
Anyhow.
And especially watching the Polly Malignaggi fight as well, because you have to understand, like, Malignaggi was a serious fighter. Like, he's not no messing around kind of fighter. You know what I mean? Like, I actually used to be a fan of him back in the day, and he's a legal fighter. Like, and then to see what Conor did to him, and then like watching Mayweather's few fights and seeing how kind of stagnant he kind of is, and then just throws shots and just kind of wins rounds, but doesn't do anything special. I just thought Conor was gonna smoke him, but things didn't work out that way.
So we'll go to the final few. If anyone has a question quickly before we let Franz go on his way, drop them in the comments and I'll read it out. But for now, we've got Matthew Morris. What was your toughest fight / opponent to date, win or lose? Boxing or MMA?
Oof. Boxing. You know, I did kickboxing as well, yeah? I was a professional kickboxer for a few fights.
It's like fighting.
What?
You just like fighting, obviously.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, with kickboxing, I was doing boxing now. I was doing MMA, and I don't actually even remember who, but I got asked to take a kickboxing fight, and it was pro, and I could deal with it with that few quid while I was an amateur. You know what I mean? So he goes, yeah, why not? And I did a few pro fights, but I remember that was my hardest. I can't remember this guy. He was like Greek or something like. But we were fighting, and I was literally catching him with my best shots, like, and I hit hard, like, and I was clonking this guy with shots galore. You know what I mean? And he was just not going down. He'd stumble for a minute, and he'd just keep coming forward, like, and I'll never forget that fight because I just got so tired, but I was still smoking him. Do you get what I'm saying? But he still kept coming. He just never stopped. And I remember that being my hardest fight. But my worst fight, right, was I went to Tokyo. I think it was my second. Was it my second?
I think so.
Yeah, it was my second. Yeah, it was my second pro fight. I think, right. It was in Tokyo. Like 3 weeks before that, I wasn't even able to train. I took like a week off because I was so sick. Like, but then I was at the come back from the Jose Aldo camp with Connor, and I was like, I'm fit. I'm at the winning all this IMMAF championships and stuff like that. I'm sick now, but by the time it comes along, it'll be grand, right? So I kind of felt better, made the weight and stuff like that. It was kind of hard because my body just wasn't in top notch. Like I don't know what I had, a fever or something. But then I felt all right. Like, you know what I mean, done a few runs and cutting down. The cut was pretty all right. Then got to the ring, and then I threw like a first few combination, and my body was just like, no, this isn't going down. And then that fight, like the dude like took me down, and just still have scars from that fight. You know what I mean? That was my worst fight by far. And so yeah, don't know if that answers your question.
Pretty much, yeah.
But the hardest was a kickboxing fight. That definitely, that dude. I wish I could remember his name, but I don't. But yeah, that was it.
But it's good that you've had experience in different things.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry, just reading the questions as we go. I can't multitask. We couldn't find. Okay, last few questions. Ben Mead, what sport do you prefer watching, boxing or MMA?
Boxing.
As a couch fan. Boxing.
Oh wait, no, hold on. What am I saying? Oh. MMA, sorry. Because listen, right? You know, before I went to Vegas to do the camp with Connor, is the last fight I watched, the last boxing fight I watched before that was Mayweather Pacquiao, and then since then I've watched obviously the Conor Mayweather fight, and then the Triple G Canelo fight, but since then that's all I've watched. And obviously I've watched a few Mayweather fights, you know, getting ready for the sparring and stuff like that, but I don't watch boxing. I don't know what's going on in boxing. Don't know anything about boxing really. No more.
No, I'm the same. I'm not a boxing watcher.
Yeah.
And then James Anthony with another question: if you couldn't fight, like if you had to stop fighting tomorrow, what would you do, or what would you want to do?
I don't have a clue. I'd love to be a pilot. So, I don't know. Like since school, because I was always into martial arts. Like I started doing karate when I was like 10 with my dad's friend. He was like a black belt in karate, so he started teaching me since then. And then came to Ireland, started doing boxing straight away when I came to Ireland when I was like 11. I started doing karate. I'd done a few karate classes in different places because I was moving around, like. And then as soon as that was done, fell into boxing, and then from boxing to MMA. And while I was doing MMA, done the kickboxing and stuff like that. So it's basically my whole life I always was planning to be a fighter. You know what I mean? But actually, at the start, I was gonna be an action actor, yeah, because I was into, like, you know, Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and all that kind of stuff. I used to just love martial arts in general, and that's initially when I was like, I think when I was like 5 or whatever, that was the plan. So that's what got me into doing the karate and stuff like that. But then obviously as reality sets and you get older, I was just like, right, I'll just be a fighter then. And that's how I ended up doing it. So I don't know, if I wasn't fighting, I don't know what else, I don't know what else I'd do, to be honest.
Well, you seem fairly competent at fighting, so I think you made the right choice in that one. You're not like you picked a bad career.
Say that again? I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Also, I think I was just saying, it seems like you've picked a good career. You seem fairly competent at fighting, so it's not like you've gone down a bad route.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Love
it. Peter Knox from MMA UK said as well, what's your Facebook and Twitter? Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah. It's France the Black Mamba Malambo. That's my
Twitter, Instagram, just to get, if anyone wants to follow you and see your journey.
Twitter. No clue. I think for Instagram it's just hold on. Can you give me a second?
Go for it.
Because I want to get this. Oh no. Yeah, no. My girlfriend went out, thought she was here, but I haven't the skinniest clue. I think my Instagram is just France Malambo 222 or something. I think
if you send it
that could be Snapchat, but I don't have a clue.
Well, if you send it to either myself or Peter Knox, we'll put it on the description for this video.
Yeah, please do. I'll send it to you as soon as this is done.
Good man.
Appreciate it.
Right, final question, Ben Mead. How does it feel being an inspiration to young kids?
Wow. I didn't know. I didn't know it was, but because like I did get a few guys, a few young guys like asking for like autographs and me to send them stuff like that, and sending me messages on Facebook and stuff like that. And I was like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, but I don't know. It feels mad as well. Like, do you get what I'm saying? But in all honesty, that's what I'm trying to achieve in this sport. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to. I have a little thing in mind where I want to like inspire people to do certain things. Don't want to get into that too much right now, but that's good. I like the way that is, and I want to get a good following and stuff like that. And then I don't know. You'll see. I don't know how to actually say it, but there's something I have planned.
We'll chat about that next time we have you on.
Yeah, definitely.
But from me, it's been a pleasure having you on. It's been really good reading about you actually today. I'm like doing a bit of research on you.
Nice.
It's very interesting guy to read about, and like obviously a very successful career so far. I look forward to seeing your journey in Brave and where it leads you from that. Obviously Brave being an up and coming promotion.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank? Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors, friends, family, coaches?
I actually, surprisingly enough, I don't have any sponsors.
What?
But, yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. But I would like to thank my girlfriend's always supported me, Emma Fox, with everything. So, wouldn't be where I am and all that good stuff. And I'd like to thank everybody at SBG, like everybody I'm working with. I was sparring a lot with Blaine O'Driscoll, sparred Brian Moore today, getting ready. They're getting ready for, Brian Moore is getting ready for Bellator on the 10th, and I think it's on the same card, I think, as Bama, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So them two guys are getting ready for that event there. So all the best to them. Like we done some good work in there. So yeah, shout out to all the guys, SPG. That's pretty much it. And actually, one side guy, right? I have this guy. You know Razvan, don't you? My mate Razvan, follow him. He's he took over my page, sorted me out with a lot of things. I've been on a few interviews in the last few weeks, like, because he's out contacting people, like contacting you guys and whatnot, and he's doing real good things for me, and he's doing it all for free. Like, he's just a good mate of mine, And obviously, I'll reimburse him in the future. Yeah, but
Reimburse him.
yeah, but like he's taken over my Facebook page and all, and he's doing real good things with it. I have a few video clips and now all out, and he's doing all this for me. Like I don't know what I did for him to make him want to do all these things for me, but big shout out to Raz. He's a good mate. So
good man.
Yeah, that's all that. And Carpo, shout out Carpo. That's my area. I'd be killed if I didn't say that.
Well, thanks again for coming on tonight. Good luck in Brave. I'm sure you'll do wonderfully in that, and definitely look forward to seeing your future fights in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving me
thank you guys for having me on this. It's been good. I'll be looking out for you guys. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, we'll definitely try and get you on again in the future as well to find out more about your plans for the future.
I'll tell you if I have something in mind.
All right. Well, thanks for everyone for the questions, and don't forget to follow Franz on social media and give him some love, especially if you've got sponsorship for him. But yeah, he's gone. Oh well. Yeah, thanks everyone. Catch you next time.